All right, fair use, fair use. It's your brother Wild Rum. You're back with another lesson, Lord, willing to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Waha, Rakak Kadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. You see on the highways and byways prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, also in the correct doctrine. Also want to give up a shalom to the men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah by their faith. I always had this thought in the back of my mind that Trump was the Trojan horse, man. And the Trojan horse was a military tactic, was used by the Greeks. And I had looked it up just to get the meaning of it. And the meaning of the Trojan horse was a hollow wooden statue of a horse in which the Greeks concealed themselves in order to enter Troy. And this is a movie they had a movie. They had Slocky. They had a movie that they used the Trojan horse, and it says a person or thing intended secretly to undermine, to bring about the downfall of an enemy or opponent. And this is what DT is, man. He was a Trojan horse. And it's a Trojan horse. It says to something that seems harmless or beneficial, but secretly carries a hidden danger, trick, or malice purpose, designed to subvert or destroy from within. And this is DT, man. He was meant to destroy from within. This is the metaphor. Trojan horse metaphor describes something that compares harmless or beneficial, but secretly carries a hidden danger. And this is what the hidden danger is, man. DT is the hidden danger, which he's controlling Babylon the Great as a what you call a tirade. You know what I'm saying? So he is using this to disrupt the normal order, and that's why the end of the NWO is coming in like it's coming in, because he was meant to stir up NATO, the EU, and pretty much the world, man. It says intending to undermine or destroy from within. That's what he's doing, to undermine and to destroy from within. And he is a centerpiece to pretty much the world order, because Babylon the Great is that great whore. Now check this out. Why is the U.S. president calling NATO a bigger threat is alarming?
Okay, so something deeply troubling just happened, and it can't simply be brushed off as Trump being Trump. The President of the United States just publicly suggested that NATO is a bigger threat to America than Russia or China. NATO is a defensive alliance made up of America's closest allies, countries that have fought and died alongside U.S. troops for decades. Russia and China, meanwhile, are authoritarian powers actively working to weaken U.S. influence, undermine democracies, and reshape global power. So when the sitting U.S. president frames our allies as the threat, that's not some edgy rhetoric. That's a strategic gift to America's biggest adversaries. Because here's what that message does. It fractures alliances that keep wars from happening. It signals instability to allies that rely on U.S. commitments. It emboldens authoritarian leaders who benefit from a divided West. Foreign policy isn't some reality show. Words from the Oval Office move markets, military, and borders. And when the President of the United States of America publicly undermines NATO, the alliances that have prevented another world war in Europe for over 80 years, the danger isn't hypothetical, it's damn near immediate. This isn't about left versus right. This is about whether or not the person sitting in the most powerful office on earth understands or respects the responsibility that comes along with it. Calling NATO the enemy while minimizing real authoritarian threats is not strength. It's reckless. and reckless at this level puts everybody at risk. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow me for more.
So you see that he is stirring it up, man. He is that Trojan horse. And let me get this scripture real quick, man. Kind of put the lesson in the direction I want to take it to and paint a picture of a Trojan horse. This is Proverbs 18. Let me drop down to verse 24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. So the EU and NATO, they were sticking close to him, man. And it's coming to find out that they are his enemies. And it's a beautiful thing because the Lord is using DT to stir these nations up to come against Babylon the Great. And see, what they think that if they destroy America, the Great Reset, the NWO, will happen after they come out of the ashes, as they would say, the phoenix rising out of the ashes as Babylon the Great is destroyed, and they come up and start all over again. Now check this out. Now I don't want to play. Let me see if I can get it back. Let me play this one.
We have some news right now. This is a real post from Donald Trump just minutes ago suggesting the real threat to the United States is NATO and the United Nations, not China and not Russia. As you can see in this post he made on his Truth Social account, he reposted someone who goes, so at what point are we going to realize the enemy is within? China and Russia are the boogeyman when the real threat is the United Nations, NATO, and this religion. I put religion in quotes because it is not a religion, it's a cult. Yeah, I went there. This is a culmination of a years-long effort by Donald Trump to break apart NATO and America's alliances with European nations in the EU and NATO. And well, now he is openly saying the quiet part out loud that he believes that the real threat to the United States is not China, is not Russia, but rather is our European allies in NATO. Significant news right now. Spread the word and follow along for more.
So he's breaking up what was established as a great allies. And it's never going to go back to a strong relationship, man. It's never going to come back to seeing eye to eye, being defensive for each other as allies, because they're saying that these Western nations want Babylon to leave. They want the Americans to leave their country.
I'm telling y'all, I've told y'all this man is a Russian asset. He has been a Russian asset since the 80s. The French intelligence agency fed Trump wrong intel to see if there was a leak. And sure enough, this misinformation, this intel got back to Russia. Basically, all of Europe, France in particular, has stopped sharing intelligence information with our government for this very reason. They are now reporting that Ukraine relies on 2/3 of its intelligence from France, from the French intelligence agency. We are being further isolated because, in my opinion, we have a compromised president that is at the behest of a dictator, of Putin. And it is my belief that the reason he wants Greenland is not for the protection of America. It is to enable Russia to have access to the Northern Hemisphere.
There you have it. Which he's not an asset. He's just the Trojan horse. And he speaks that way. He's destroying from within.
Have you invited President Putin to be a member of the Board of Peace?
Yeah, he's been invited.
Do you have any response to President Macron saying he will not join the Board of Peace?
Oh, did he say that? Well,
Yeah.
Nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, that's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like Costo, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few months.
Did you invite President Putin to join the...
Yes, he's one of the people, these are world leaders, and the answer is yes.
So he's meant to stir up the Western nations because he invited President Putin, but he pretty much neglected to invite French President Macron, and Macron is the one that was pretty much one that's not going to bow down to him. So what he said that he's going to be out of office soon anyway, so it don't matter. And this is him speaking yesterday at the Davos.
China is welcome, but what we need is more Chinese foreign direct investment in Europe, in some key sectors to contribute to our growth, to transfer some technologies, and not just to export towards Europe some devices or products which sometimes don't have the same standards or are much more subsidized as the one being produced in Europe.
So the Western nations are turning to China, as Canada has already pretty much turned to China. So these nations are not relying on Babylon the Great. That order, that world order, is being broken, which they are all, they're doing it behind closed doors. But DT is the Trojan horse to get all the Western nations to turn on him, to turn on Babylon, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna get out of here before World War III starts and the missiles start to fly. Now check this out, because he puffs up about the money and all the. It's all strategic, man. Esau is doing this on the left-hand side, thinking he is going to establish his NWO.
All right, it's about 7 o'clock here on the West Coast, and there's breaking news. U.S. stocks are tanking right now. Why? Because this is our first sign yet that this rhetoric about taking over the country of Greenland is really starting to have an impact on things. Why is the stock market affected, down almost 700 points right now? That's because the European Union is essentially standing with Denmark and threatening to impose this nuclear option, the bazooka option as they're calling it. It's called the anti-coercion instrument. What that could essentially do is unilaterally cut the United States out of all European markets, essentially threatening a massive trade war between the European Union and the United States. That would have a huge impact on U.S. markets here in the United States. It already is, because of how connected our economies are when it comes to trade. This is our first major sign yet that the president's rhetoric about Greenland is having a major impact here in the United States, the European Union, and in a rare move, French President Emmanuel Macron is also standing with the European Union in opposition to the United States when it comes to this issue. We're going to keep an eye on this, but day after day of this could potentially move the needle for President Trump.
See, Macron is one of the main leaders of the West that's coming against Babylon the Great. And see, DT knows the economy is on the teeters, man. It's on the way out, man. It's about to fall. And he's using his allies to pretty much bring it down. So when he brings it down, the West is coming down with it. And so he knows that. And this is all being done behind the scenes, but he is a front man to bring this to pass before the people. And see, the only thing that is going to come of this is Esau going down, man. And they think that like I said, they think that they're going to rise out of the ashes after the nuclear destruction. They're going to reestablish themselves. They're going to control the NWO. But we know through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that's not going to happen. And see, we're seeing that the Lord is setting Esau up to be destroyed. And he has no clue that this is happening to him.
First of all, last year you told me that you believe that the reason you won election is because God put you in this place so that you could save the world. Looking back 1 year, do you feel like God is proud of the effort that you've put?
I do, actually. I think God is very proud of the job I've done. And that includes for religion. You know, we're protecting a lot of people that are being killed. Christians, Jewish people, lots of people are being protected by me that wouldn't be protected by another type of president. No, I think a lot of people are very proud of the job we've done. We've had an amazing year. This has been one of the greatest years. Even some people that wouldn't necessarily love me instinctively, they're saying this was an incredible year. We've had an incredible year economically. Look at our border. Our border was a disaster. People poured. It was an invasion into our country of a lot of very bad people, good people too, but a lot of very bad people from prisons and drug dealers and gangs and horrible people, murderers, thousands and thousands of murderers allowed into our country. And we now have the strongest border of any country. There's probably not a country, I guess North Korea has a pretty strong border, by the way, but there's not a country in the world that has a border like we do. And we took it from the worst border. We had the worst border in the world. Now we have one of the strongest borders in the world.
And you see that he asked him, is God pleased with you? And he said, yeah, God is pleased with him. But the people he said that he was pleased with them about, the Christians and the small hats, the Lord is not pleased with him about that. The Lord is pleased with him doing what he said he was going to do, and that's destroy Babylon the Great from off the face of the earth. And DT is the catalyst of all these things coming to pass. Nero 47, as the apostles coined him. Now, the elect are ecstatic that these things are happening because we see the kingdom, the hopeful elect, I'll say it that way, that the Lord is establishing the end of Esau and his kingdom. This is Job 4 in verse 8. It says, even as I have seen that they that plow iniquity sow wickedness, reap the same. See that? They sow wickedness and iniquity, and they're going to sow the same thing, man. They did this throughout the whole globe, and the Lord is pleased with them because they are set up to destroy themselves from within, man. Esau, which is DT, he is destroying his people, his kingdom from within, because they think that they're going to rise and continue to rule. Which, when he goes down, that's it, man. There's no more rulership for Esau Edom. This is Psalm 7 in verse 14. It says, behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. See that? He has brought forth falsehoods. It says, he made a pit and dig it, and is falling into the ditch which he made. And this is a deep ditch that he's digging, man. That he's never going to be able to restore friendships with his allies. Those bases are going to be kicked out of. He's not going to be able to reestablish that ever again, man. Them ties that he's severing is never going to be healed, man. This is the reason why in Jeremiah 51 it tells you that Babylon won't be healed. This is a part of it. His mischief shall return upon his own head. See, his mischief's going to return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. And see, this is going to come down all upon him, man. But he's not going to be able to wiggle himself out of this. This is over with, man. And this is why we telling our people through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, repent, because our kingdom is near. He says, I will praise Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah according to his righteousness, and I will sing praise to the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, Most High. And see, this is what we sing in this new song, man. Telling our people, this is the time the Lord is going to bring great judgment on our enemies, man. This is the time to rejoice and have faith in the Lord, because this man is at his end. And he's doing it to himself, man. That's the cold thing about it, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is, he is making him destroy his own kingdom, man. This is Colossians 2, starting at verse 6. It says, as he have therefore received your Mashiach Yahweh Shah, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, so walk ye in him. See that? And that's what we telling our people. You receive the Lord, now walk ye in him. This place is on borrowed time. It says, rooted and built up in him and established in the faith. See, because the part of this NWO that's coming is the mark of the beast, which is going to be a RFID C-hip. And this is what we want in our people. Don't take that, because this is this man's mark. And this is how he's going to seal you into destruction that is coming in Babylon the Great, man. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, we continue to make these lessons, showing our people and warning our people to wake up. This man is at his end. And that's why it says rooted and built up in him and established in the faith. See, what we're telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is our heritage, man. We ain't telling you about our religion. We ain't telling you about the so-called white man, Jesus Christ. We're telling you about the Lord and Savior, the true living power of the Israelites, man. You blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. And his father's name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. This is what you have to be built up and pray in facing the east. Pray in those names facing the east. It says, built up in Slakia, it says rooted and built up in him and established in the faith. See, if you're not established in the faith, you're gonna fall short, man, and be destroyed with the destruction that's coming. As ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. See, we've been taught the truth. Now it's time to put forth the faith that we have in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah to the test. And that's by believing and having faith and praying in the names that was given and taught to us, man. This is what we're being established in, the truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Verse 80 says, beware, lest any man spoil you with through philosophies and vain deceit. And he's going to destroy a lot of our people with philosophies and in vain deceit. And that's Esau Edom, man. Telling you that you're going to have this money if you take the MOTB. You're going to be able to go and do this if you abide by the rules of Esau. And see, a lot of our people are going to get caught off because they believe that this man is going through and conquering the earth for their benefit. They believe that Esau is coming against these nations for their benefit, man. They're going to get more money. They're going to have more. It's all for them, man. The elite. You're not going to be benefiting with the investments of Venezuela, or if they go and take out Iran, you're going to benefit from it. That's the vain deceit, man. After the traditions of man, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So if you're believing and having faith that this system is going to continue on and Esau is going to benefit you in any type of way, you're not invested in the Lord, man. You're not putting your trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You're going after the rudiments of this world and trusting in man. And the scriptures clearly tell us to not follow man, but the Lord. Verse 9, it says, for in him dwelleth all the fullness of the power head bodily. And see, and that's the Lord, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, man. Because the Lord is not going to suffer us to be overwhelmed in this man's kingdom, man. He's not going to put more on you than you can manage or maintain through the Spirit. But you have to understand, this man is meant to do what he's doing, man. This is the way the Lord set this movie up and the way it's going to end. And this is why we're making our calling and election sure and pushing this word to our people, man, for you to wake up and understand this is it. This is the time the Lord is going to bring judgment upon our enemies. This is Ecclesiastic Sirach 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So we're seeing that this wickedness that he's doing in the earth is for him to conquer and control all the people, man. And you see how he's doing the West, his own allies, he's setting them up to be subject unto him. So they're bringing in one world religion, one world government, one world army. And he's basically jockeying for power to bring this in, man. And this is why we telling our people, this man is the Trojan horse to bring Babylon the Great down. This is it. He is through. He says, verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. See that? Take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. See, he's not going to start over and be equal to you or have you benefit in any way. He's going to make it seem like you're going to benefit and be part of the system and be a good citizen, but he's looking to put this MOTB in you, man, that you'll be controlled. Verse 12, it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. See that? So if you think that he's going to let you benefit, and let you get a head up. He's gonna stand by you. As soon as he see you falling, he's gonna jump on you, man. And we've seen that plenty of times, man. We just seen that with Maduro, man. He made in Babylon. They painted a picture that he was such a bad dictator and all of this. As soon as they had the opportunity, they thrusted him. They threw him down, man. And now you don't hear nothing else about Maduro. You hear about Venezuela, but you don't hear nothing else about Maduro. So we see that this man is at work, man. This is his playbook. He's always done this, man. 12, one more time, it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And that's what he's going to do, man. He'll puff you up and put you in a place and think, well, you a part of him. And as soon as you get you get a hints, not hints, but you get a inkling of what he's doing, he's gonna cast you down, man, and put somebody else in your place, man. He did this. This playbook has been used over and over and over and over and over. It says, and thou at the last remember thy words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? So if you're not taking heed to this word, and you get bit by that serpent, nobody's going to pity you. You took the MOTB, nobody's going to pity you, because the men of the Lord has been teaching this word for many years, starting with the apostles and elders, a great millstone on down. It says, or any such as come nigh wild beasts. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? So if you're joining him and joined into his sins, nobody's going to, in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to have your head down, man. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And this is the reason why we're bringing these lessons out, man. The time is coming where the Lord is going to make moves on Babylon and Great, and he's making the moves now, man. Verse 15, it says, it says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. See that? When you begin to fall, he will not tarry, man. He's going to take you down, man. And this is his mission, man, to have you under his feet. And you see that I'm speaking to our people, man, you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. You see him doing this to his own people. Shit, you have no chance to sit with him, man, and be joined and be a part of his system, man. It says, an enemy speaketh sweet with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. See that? He's imagining how to throw you into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. See that? This is what Esau done, man. That's serpent, man. And DT always talk about that serpent that is bit that'll bite you. He always had that poem he always speaks of. So this is no different, man. This is why we are telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This man is at his end, man. He is not going to go out without a fight. He's going to go out kicking and screaming, man. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. See that? So when adversity comes, you're going to find him there first, man. So when he does his false flag and bring in these different troops into your cities, you're going to think he's there to help you, man. But he's there to undermine you, man. He's always done this, man. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And a lot of our people are going to be taken in the wrath of the Lord, because Esau is the Lord's wrath on the left-hand side, man. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. See that? And our people want to be so much connected to Esau and his kingdom that they don't see that this man is set up to bring them down, man. He is meant to destroy you from within. He's destroying his own kingdom from within. That's why a lot of our people are not aware of what his playbook is and what his actions are, because they don't believe or see him as the being the devil the Bible speaks of. Because he's always seen as being the one that helps, because this is his kingdom. He's always been seen as the one that helps, but he is the one that destroys, man. This is Ecclesiastes Sirach 10 and verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And see, that's what he does. That's what he does. His government showed him that he's on top of everything, man. He is a great man, and And behind the curtain, he is finding ways to do you in for the most part, man. Verse 2, it says, as the judge of the people himself is so sluggish, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such as are all they that dwell therein. And see, just as the government is, so is his officers, his government elected officials, man. They do the same exact thing. They have the same mindset. Verse 3, it says, a unwise king destroyeth his people. And that's what he is. He's an unwise king, and he's destroying his people. And he's doing it from within. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the cities shall be inhabited. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. In due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. And that's what we're waiting for. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to establish his kingdom and the being of the Lord to be in rulership over the Lord's kingdom. Because this place is finished, man. They're going to crash the dollar and then bring in the MOTB. And we see it how it's rolling out, man, clear as day. You see it clear as day. This is Isaiah 3 in verse 12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. And see, you Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, if you can't see this is what's happened, you're clueless, man. You're lost, man. And see, this is not how the Lord ordered things to be, man. Men are supposed to rule over their women and over the heathen nations, man. O my people, which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And that's what we're telling our people. This is the time to wake up, man. We've been destroyed, and the Lord is going to redeem us, man. And only the remnant is going to be saved, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua standeth to plead and standeth to judge the people. And we know that the Lord is a man of his word, man. So this is the time to take heed to this word, man. There's no other time to be alive and be established in this truth, man. And if you've been woken up to the truth, man, the Lord woke you up for a purpose. This is Proverbs 11 and verse 6. It says, riches profit not in a day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. See, he thinks that he's rich and he's gaining all this access and gaining access to all these resources and minerals, conquering countries and taking over nations. But it's meant to him to be destroyed, man. And the righteous are going to scarcely be delivered from the destruction that's coming. But his kingdom, this rulership, is going to utterly perish. Verse 5, it says, the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way. See, the righteousness of the what? The perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. And that's what we're telling our people, man. This man is finna fall from his wickedness, man. The wickedness of the upright, the righteousness, it says, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them. See that? The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them. And this is out of this man's kingdom, man. Kingdom. And this is it, man. But transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish. See that? When this kingdom die, his expectation to rule and do all these different agendas and shit that they got planned, it's going to perish with him, man. This is it. And the hope of the unjust man perisheth. See that? It's going to perish. His hope is going to be thrown down with his kingdom, man. It's over with. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. See that? They're going to, it's a role reversal. A role reversal is going to be put on the earth, man. And the righteous is going to take heed and be delivered and come into his stead. But 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed and come back in the kingdom as newborn babes, man. Dropping down to verse 17, it says, a merciful man doeth good to his own soul. See, a merciful man doeth good to his own soul, But he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. And see, this is what he's doing. He's troubling his own flesh because the agenda that they set for themselves, they're not going to accomplish it, man. The wicked worketh a deceitful work. See that? He's a Trojan horse to bring down his own kingdom, man. This is a deceitful work, man. But he is pushing forth because it's what the bankers have him to do, man. The elite. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. See that? What you're doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to come with a sure reward, man. As righteousness tendeth to life, so that he perisheth he pursueth evil, pursueth it to his own death. See that? He's destroying himself, man. Everything he's tried to establish, he's going to destroy it in 1 hour, man. Everything he has put forth, his efforts are going to be destroyed with him, man, in 1 hour, man. So Lord Williams Elephant, I'm in it there. Shalom. Shalom.